Really important video for all of the Shopify theme developers. In this video, I'll show you guys how you can connect Claude Code and use GitHub to boost your Shopify theme development. So if you were building a theme in months or in days, you could do that in hours and minutes using the power of new Claude Code. At the end of this video, I'm also going to show you guys how to supercharge this setup. So the first step of this video will be to connect GitHub with the VS Code so you can get all of the version history. In the second step, we will add the Claude Code in the VS Code. And in the third step, which is the most important one, we will add MCP Server to get the latest context. If you are not familiar with these terms, watch the complete video. I'll give you a beginner's guide on how you can set up Claude Code to speed up your Shopify theme development. So without further ado, let's get into the screen. So guys, this is the first step where I'll be connecting this theme with the GitHub, right? I've added the latest version of Horizon theme. You can see that it's the latest version as of today. Now let's create a new repository in GitHub. So that's my GitHub screen. I'm going to click on this plus sign here and click on new repository. I'm going to name it Shopify Claude tutorial for the sake of this tutorial and make this repository private, and then scroll down and then click on create repository. Perfect. We have our repository created. Now we will download our theme and add it to our folder and open that in VS Code. So I have this folder created by the name of Shopify-theme. I'm going to add all of the files of this theme which I have in my development store. For that, I'm going to click on these three small dots and then click on download theme file. Once I do that, you can see that it's sending me an email with the theme files. So I'm going to click on send email and go to my email and extract all of the files on this folder here. So guys, that's the email, and I have already downloaded the theme and moved it to this Shopify theme folder. Now I will extract all of the folders and move it here. So I'm going to unzip, and that is the folder. Now that is my theme folders, which I want to have it in the Shopify theme folder. So I'm going to move these folders here and remove the zip file and this folder. So I don't need these two anymore. I'm going to remove that. Now let's open this Shopify theme folder in my VS Code. So I'm going to open the Visual Studio Code, click on open, and in my desktop, I have this Shopify theme folder. Cool. I have all of the files downloaded locally in my laptop. Now I need to connect the GitHub repository with this folder. And how can I do that? So first, I need to initialize Git for this folder. And for that, we have already created the GitHub repository by the name of Shopify Claude tutorial. And I'm going to simply add these three commands in the terminal of VS Code. So just copy this, go back to the VS Code, open up the terminal, and paste this command. Now we are getting this error. That's an expected error because we haven't yet initialized our Git in the local folder. And in order to fix this bug, we will add this command here, git init, git add dot git commit -m initial commit. I'll add this command in the description, so don't need to worry about. If you don't really understand what this command does, let me know in the comments below if you want me to create a beginner level tutorial for GitHub, how to create a GitHub repository, how to fork a GitHub repository, how to actually contribute in open source. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to create that tutorial. For now, let's move on to this tutorial, and I'm going to hit enter and then go back to my GitHub repository, copy this command again one more time, paste it to the terminal and hit enter. Now you can see that our code is being pushed. And now if we go back to our GitHub repository and hit refresh, you can see all of the code in our local folder has been uploaded to our GitHub repository, which we created, right? Now our local folder and our cloud GitHub repository is connected. Now whatever change we make, it will show up in the revision history in the form of comments, and it will create a history of each comment which is created. Now this step is done, we will now connect our development store with this GitHub repo. And for doing that, you will go to your online store in Shopify store and click on this dropdown where it says import theme. And here you will find connect from GitHub. Click on connect from GitHub. I've already connected my GitHub account. You will see a connect button where it will take you to the GitHub login screen where you will need to connect your GitHub account. Once your GitHub account is connected, click on this repository option and we will select the repository which we have created right now. Click on that. And here it will show us the branch which we need to connect. So I'm simply going to click on this connect here. And our main branch of this GitHub repository is now connected with the theme which is being created here. Okay, you can see that it's now ready to be published. Now I'm going to hit publish and click on publish again. Now our theme is connected with this GitHub repository where if we change anything within the GitHub or our local folder, it will show up in the revision history. Let me show you how it's going to show. So first, let's try editing from the Shopify code editor. So I'm going to simply click on these 3 small dots and then click on edit code. Okay, let's find our base.css file. And I'm simply going to change. So let's from 100% to 99%. That's the basic change which I'm making in order to show you guys how it's going to look on GitHub repo. Click on save. And now if we go back to our GitHub repository and hit refresh, you can see that we have now Shopify bot added in commit where it's telling us that we have made change from Shopify code editor. And if I click on commits, you can see that it's giving us, this is the commit. If we click on that, it will give us the further details that what are the code changes which we made. So that's the code change which we made. It's going to show the same thing if we change anything locally. So if I go back to the local folder where we have our code and make any change, let's say go to base.css file and make any basic change here. Again, I'm going to change it to 101%, hit save. And now you can see that it's giving us this option to add a commit, right? So I'm going to say test, change, and hit commit. Now you can see that I have these new commits showing up in my GitHub repository. It's just a high level overview of what you can do with GitHub. If you want me to create a detailed tutorial, let me know in the comments below. I'm not going to go into more details of the GitHub. Now let's move on to the next step where we will be installing Claude and how we can do that. So simply go to GitHub, click on this extension icon here and search for Claude Code. And you will find this extension on the top. Click on install button. So guys, once the Claude Code extension is installed, you will have it showing up here on your VS Code. Once you click on that, you can chat with Claude Code. Initially, what you will see is this screen. Once you install that for the first time, I've already installed and connected my Claude AI with the Anthropic console. You can use Claude AI subscription or you can use Anthropic console. Now the difference between these two is that Anthropic console is only going to charge you for API usage, meaning whatever number of token you will consume, it will charge you based on that. For Claude AI subscription, there's a fixed charges of $70 or $100 if we go to Claude AI subscription. Here you can see we have these 3 tiers which we can use. So there's a free version where we have limited amount of context and the prompt, and this is the pro version and this is the max version. So if you want to go with the fixed pricing, you will select the Claude AI subscription and it will take you to the browser and connect via your subscription. And if you want to do that via Anthropic console, which I have done, you will click on Anthropic console. Once it's connected, it is going to read all of the code which you have on your project here. And it will be able to suggest the code changes automatically. And it will also make the changes automatically. You won't have to do manually anything. Now, the most powerful thing to do is to add an MCP server, which Shopify has already provided. So if we go to that documentation, Shopify MCP Claude Code, you will find this link on the top. And here, if we scroll down, you can see that we have all of these options to add MCP server. Now let's add Claude Code MCP server in our VS Code via this command. So I'm going to go back to my VS Code, open up the terminal, and I'm going to add this command. So simply copy this command and paste this command. And once you do that, you will have it showing up on your Claude Code chat here. So if I press / and type in MCP, you can see that we have this MCP status and manage MCP servers. You can now see that we have Shopify Dev MCP connected. Now, what does this MCP mean? MCP meaning Model Context Protocol, meaning if Shopify development API documentation got updated few days back, few hours back, it is going to pull latest and updated documentation in the context of Claude Code, and it will be able to assist us better in writing code as updated as per the Shopify documentation. So you don't have to give it fresh context again and again to your AI assistant, because the developer documentation keep updating very frequently, especially in case of Shopify. So Shopify Dev MCP is really important to have with your Claude Code in order to streamline, in order to boost your Shopify theme development. And that's it for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you want to watch more videos with Claude Code. Until next video, have a great day.